really tough to find instructions how to do this. So I'm going to make this video to give a step-by-step how to replace a convertible top. Hopefully it'll work out well. This is the first time I've ever done this, and we'll show you every little step along the way. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is put the top in this position here, and then we're going to take off this top rail and all these screws. And as we do this, we're going to label all the screws, make sure we get them all right in the back in the same position they were before. I'm going to take this is the header rail, I'm going to take this off now. And then we're going to detach this, which is glued on. Okay. This is how far this was down before, and there's a plastic strip under here. And there's holes in it. And the new piece I have actually doesn't have these holes in there. But I just want to make note of how far that comes down. We should be able to match this up next time. It should be down approximately this far. There's a line right there that was left before, so that's how far this top will glue and come down when we put it back on again. Okay. Okay, our next step is to remove this rubber piece. Can you see this whole thing? Let me get back a little bit. You can see this. There's a rubber channel right here. There's a rubber piece and there's a little channel right there to hold this in. So it looks like we just pull this up and it comes right out of there. And then there's some screws here we have to take out that hold this plastic clip on apparently. So we're going to take this off the other side too. Okay, you can stop. It's like these two screws I have my fingers on are bigger than this one right here.
And that one right there.
Yeah, all these three right here I have my fingers on right now are all small. And then these two are large. Okay. Okay, I took the two screws off, and this actually holds this in position here, so probably a good idea to mark this before you take the screws off so you know what position it was in, because otherwise you're going to have to readjust the top. So now I've done that, this right here should come off. This is a plastic lip. Okay, after two bolts were off, there was two screws holding this plastic piece on. This is what we had to get to, which was under there. So we had to take this off. Now we have these two little screws off, which is what we're trying to do here. Okay, got it going? Yeah. So next step is we got to take this cable out. We have to keep this cable. So we got to take out this screw right here, which feeds this cable, and somehow get that disconnected there. So, okay, next step is to get this rivet strap out right here. This is on the side. Back up so we can see this part right here. So this strap, we're going to drill that rivet, pop it out to get this off right there. Okay, now we got them off. We're going to have to take this rubber channel off to get some more screws. And it's like these are the same kind of way. All right, so we'll do both sides of that. Okay, now I got the rubber off. The next step is we have to get these screws way back in here, which hold the plastic piece that holds the roof on. But I'm not sure we can get to them unless we take off this metal bracket. So I think we got to take off these small screws. This is the bracket that holds the weather stripping on. We'll take that off, and then we can get to the screws that hold the plastic channel on, which is actually sewn into the roof. So that's our next step now. Okay, now that we have the the bracket on, we can get to these screws which holds the plastic part. So now I'm going to take these screws out. Okay, you can turn it off. One thing to be careful of is this bracket right here. When you screw it off, it looks like there's a lot of play in it, so we need to get in the exact same position. So I'm going to make a couple marks on here where it overlaps with the other bar, so I know how far down to put it. If you look on top here too, you just can't see too much there. Okay, but okay, that's good, Ryan. Okay, now I have screws off, and this plastic thing came out. Now this cable right here was run through a panel right on this top right here, but was so dry rotted on this top that it just ripped, and I pulled it out. But this cable kind of holds the top on. They gave me a new bracket at the top, which is this one here, which matches this one in the front. And but somehow I got to put this cable back in the new top. And this side here looks pretty difficult to take apart. I mean, there's a spring on here, and it's kind of crimped on there. The other side, though, has this little bracket. All right, so this is the new top that we're getting ready to put on. Still taking off the old top, but this is the little channel that cable runs through that we need to get on, so that cable will come right. We'll feed that cable through the side here down this channel. This is the rear of the back. There's a plastic strip along the back right here, and so we need to get the old one off. I think there's bolts underneath here, but I took this off. You have to actually look at this, but what I'm going to do, I think, is cut the old back. Just make it easier to get off. I'll just cut it like right along here. That way I can have access to the bolts, hopefully. Okay, so this is the top again. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to get a knife and just kind of slice it along the back here. Hopefully that'll expose what I need to get to inside to disconnect that, just to make it easier. I mean, I don't feel like reaching through here. I'm going to see what's in here first, but I'm going to throw this top away anyway. So, all right, so I cut along this whole side here, cut the back off. Here's the inner strap. It's like this plastic piece here. Just comes off too. It's stuck on there, glue or something. Huh. So we need to get that off. Okay, I'm gonna hold that flap in here. So the whole top's almost off now. I'm going to cut the other side off. Then we'll have access to this underneath this piece here, so we can get this rail off. All right, so now this is folded back. There's an elastic strap right here attached to the inside, which is riveted. 2 rivets right here on this rail. So what I'm going to do is get those rivets off, and then I'll have the whole top off. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is in here underneath the back corner, there was these plastic plugs covering up this. There's a bolt right down there. All right, so I'm trying to take this bolt out that holds this rail on, and I ran into a difficult situation. That the socket wrench is so long, there's a little well there is where the water drains out, and there's a bolt in there, and there's just a plastic piece on the other side of it. And okay, now I have the 2 bolts out on the edges. Now I'm pulling out the liner so I can get to the bolts underneath there, and then we'll start taking those out. I have most of the bolts removed. Now I'm starting to take off this rubber gasket here. And it looks like I just pulled it and just kind of coming out. Let's see, it looks like that's pretty easy right there. Put that aside. Okay, I was able to pry off this back bar. This is where the groove was attached to where I cut it at. And you can see there's a lot of some kind of caulking on here. So I'm going to have to, I guess, find some of this stuff. It's very stretchy to put back on here. But See, it looks like the whole thing's off now, so what I'm going to do is put some tape on here around the car to protect it when working. And then I'm going to take off, looks like a bunch of staples along this whole edge here, so I'm going to take this piece of material off this little rim. Be my next step. Okay, now that I have this piece out, there was a screw to each end right here, which I took off, and now we gotta just pull these staples out. There's the other screw.